Hey guys, it's Dave again. Welcome back to Dave's Dimension. Got a new video for you guys, something a little different. Most of my videos have mostly been Ghostbuster related. But we got a little surprise, got a little unboxing today. Okay? Now, anyone who is new to the channel, I have a handful of videos. And if you want to go back and check some of them out, just go ahead and run them through below. If you like them, hit that like button. And if you want to see more of these videos, just hit subscribe. I plan to do a few more different unboxings. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is Ghostbuster oriented, but I do collect some Power Ranger stuff and some other movie items. Basically a big fan of the 80s and 90s. I mean, that's when I was growing up. And, you know, let's face it, when you're an adult, you start to get stuff that maybe you couldn't have had when you were younger. I mean, here I am, I'm 41, and last year I built, can't say built, but I modified my first couple Proton packs. Got the Back to the Future Flux pack. All the way back in the corner there is my main pack that I wear with the local Ghostbusters group I'm a part of here in Buffalo, New York. And I just built or modded a spare pack into an RGB style for my wife. Big shout out to Franken Geek. His pack kit is amazing. If you don't know who he is, Franken Geek, all's one word. Facebook, hit him up. Take a look at some of his videos. You'll be pretty impressed. So what I'm doing today is not Ghostbuster oriented, not in any shape or form. How many of us were fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day? Either from the comics, or the awesome 80s cartoon, or the 1990 movie. Yeah, over the past couple of years there's been iterations, new updates as they like to call them, to the Fab Four, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo. For me, what the big thing was, I loved the cartoon as a kid. I didn't know it was a comic book, but I wasn't really aware of the comics until after the cartoon. And I mean the original cartoon, not any of the Nickelodeon-oriented ones. I'm not putting those down. They're just not my slice of cake. But the 1990 Ninja Turtles were. To me, that was awesome. And I still think those suits and, I mean, the action still stands, even with like the recent ones that were made. The Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Nothing against them. I actually liked those movies. I just wasn't crazy about some of the aspects of the movies. But, you know, with anything and everything out there, you're going to have people who have their opinions. Some people who like this, but they don't like that. Or they like that, but they don't like this. You'll find that anywhere, whether in TV shows, movies, music, you name it. Everyone's going to criticize. You can't satisfy everyone. You can't please everyone. The customer's always right until they out the door. So, what am I going to review today? Well, it's just that. It's 1990s Ninja Turtles, but a little bit different. There's a company, collector and toy company known as NECA, N-E-C-A, NECA. Or at least that's how I call it. Well, they have been putting out some fantastic items and collectibles out there. In fact, I have a Evil Dead that's stowed in the back up there. I'm not going to open that one up. Not yet. Maybe soon. What I have today is a little special treat. Anyone who's a big fan of the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out in 1990 will remember Raphael. He's always going to be Raph to me. Or when he gets a little upset, decides to go out, blow some steam, well, if you're a Ninja Turtle, if you're a 5'11", 6 foot tall Ninja Turtle, you can't exactly walk the streets of New York. So what do? you throw on a trench coat and a hat, and that's what I have today. I have the Casey Jones and Raphael in disguise set. I actually have this, and I have another one coming, but this one is going to be my unboxing. I mean, the detail's pretty sick. If you're a big fan of the 90s Ninja Turtle movies, you'll really appreciate this. So what do we have here? Well, the wife came across this at Walmart. So these are already hitting the Walmarts in the Northeast, in Buffalo, Niagara Falls area. So here is mine. Now, we'll go over the box and we'll go over everything here. Now, of course, on the back, you got some of the scenes from the movie. You got the Brothers 4. You got Casey and Raph. Now, of course, if you haven't seen the movie, or maybe if it's a little fuzzy in your memories, these two did not get along. They kind of hated each other. Raphael sees this kid who was robbing someone and comes across this vigilante in a convoluted hockey mask, and with a old style golf bag full of weapons, from a cricket bat to a hockey stick to a Jose Canseco bat. Please tell me you didn't pay money for that. So Raph comes across him and decides that he's being a little too rough on the young punk, and they kind of fight it out in Central Park. It's fun. It's goofy. If you want a good time, especially with all the chaos going on in this world, get a digital download, borrow a VHS, a DVD, Blu-ray, whatever the case. Borrow it. It's a good time. Especially when you got all this craziness going on in the world. You need a few laughs. You need to suspend your reality for a little bit. This is a good time. Now, this, as you can tell from the packaging, we got Casey on the one side, Raph on the other. Yes, he is wearing a hat. Now, the boxing itself, this is in pretty good shape. The only thing was this little hanger was kind of twisted. That's how it came shipped to the store, I guess, because that's how it was on the shelf. So, what do you guys say? Let's open this up. So, let's find something to open it up with. I think I'll use my trusty handy dandy bit knife. Just cutting the Scotch tape. I'm not trying to damage the box too much. But hey, some people are just going to pick these up and put them on their shelves. They're going to collect dust. Other people are going to open them up. I'm one of those people that's going to open it up. You can't just let the stuff just sit in a box. You know, you're going to want to do those fun poses. And what's kind of cool is you get a little backdrop of the city in there. Don't know if you can really catch that here. So, what do we have? You got Casey Jones with his hockey sticks, golf club, cricket bat, dual bats, and of course his golf bag. Some swappable hands for different poses. And for Raphael, you got both of his side. Slice of pizza, of course. How can you be a Ninja Turtle and not have pizza? His hat, and different little tails for his bandana. And of course, extra hands. Now, of course, these come with the little plastic, I guess you could call it a tie. The little fasteners, so bear with me. I'm going to try and snip through them so we can pull out the figures and you can check them out yourself. Well, I'm going to check it out. You guys can look through the camera here. Good thing is everything is secure in here. secure is a good thing, right? And here we got Casey Jones. Head is fully 360 degrees swivel. Little wibble wobble. He can look down, he can look up. You want to give him the Exorcist, he can do that too. Now the joints, they are not too stiff. They're posable but not loose. And this feels, this feels pretty accurate for the movie. I mean, he's got a little pudge in the belly. I mean, just the molding on here, the legs, they feel very coarse like a regular pant leg would, and the sneakers feel pretty smooth. I am digging him. Now, his arms do rotate a full rotation there. His arms can also bend. So you got a little ball joint here, actually in the elbow. So it does everything an elbow would. His wrists rotate, and these hands, they do come out because, as I said, there's extras in here. And like much of the, I actually have not Donatello, but I have Leo and I have Raph before, the regular NECA action figures for Ninja Turtles, and they are very solid. And so is Casey here. He stands on his own. See? Got him standing on a little mess in pillowcase. And you see he's pretty solid. Not falling off. Nice, good, solid figure. That's what we want. And like I said, he's got his weapons, his hockey stick, and a little bag that goes on his back to carry all his weapons. Now, I was a little surprised that they have two of Raphael Sai. You might be wondering, well, what's the importance of that? Well, he loses one of the Sais, and it's called a Sai, the little fork-like weapons. It's called a Sai. Now, he loses it early in the movie, in one of the first scenes, because there's a woman being mugged who is April O'Neil, the reporter who befriends the Turtles later on. Well, he loses the Sai. So he's going around and all he has is just the one Sai. So I was a little surprised he's got the other Sai now. But that's cool. Now, all the weapons, I'm going to open up, I'm going to try to open up the hockey sticks here, see how sturdy they are. Some of the detail on these, the tape, the dirt, this is pretty, that's pretty awesome right there. That's awesome to detail. NECA does really great stuff. If you're movie fans, they have Back to the Future items coming out later this year. Yeah, I'm going to be grabbing a couple of those. I'm not sure which one. I'm kind of eyeing the Back to the Future 2 Marty McFly with the auto fit jacket and the power laces, sneakers. That's always been one of my favorites. But they do exceptional detail. This looks like somebody's hockey stick that might have been laying around for years. Here's another one. It's pretty awesome detail. We're going to move on to Raph now. Enough of Casey Jones. Still can't believe he was the love interest for April, but what do I know? I know nothing. I'm just a madman in a box. I will say this. It's always good when you get really good packaging, because you know if it gets thrown around, it's going to be kept secure, but sometimes getting into this stuff is a pain. And we have Raph. Now, Raph is literally wearing a fabric coat. This is not plastic. And he's got a backpack. Just like in the movie. And the detail, I mean, you can see his pupils, his teeth. I mean, they got the little straps here. Little buckle right there. And he's got the same type of movement that Casey does. Even the feet. Now you can get stands for these guys so that they stand proper, nice and level on your shelves. But these guys will stand on their own. They're pretty stable. If you have any of the other turtles, you know what I'm talking about. Now also, just in case anyone out there who's interested in these, they're available at Walmart. You're going to see them popping up at a few other places, maybe even some Targets, I don't know. Also, a couple other things are going on. They are re-releasing the original 4 Turtles. And when I say original 4, I'm talking about the movie ones. They originally sold them in individual packages. Now they're going to be selling 2 packs. I believe it's Raph and Leo, Raphael and Leonardo, and then you're going to have Donatello and Michelangelo. Now, GameStops, you might be able to come across a few of the individual figures like Splinter, Shredder. They got a Super Shredder coming out, and NECA actually has, they're still doing pre-orders on, if you ever saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Toka and Razor, they got those guys coming out. But jump on that quick. You best to go onto NECA's website directly and jump on those guys. You will not disappoint. Now I'm going to take out Raph's hat. Now Raph's hat is kind of a malleable, soft little plastic. It's not a fabric, but it's plastic. And if you notice, there's a little hole in the back there. That's for his bandana to stick out, guys. But let's throw that on. Got a little Bogart going on. I mean, this is just awesome. Just the detail. I mean, look at the backpack. It looks amazing. Now, in the first movie, in all the movies, I mean, Raphael's always been a favorite of mine. Smart ass. Doesn't take crap from anybody. He's the tough guy. You know, he's that short fused brother of yours or cousin, but he's always there for you when you need him. That's Raphael. And Casey winds up being, he's a punk at first, but eventually he gets into you guys. So there they are. I mean, his only weapons are the Sai, which are right there. Now, I will say this. All the weapons and accessories are very durable, guys. They are extremely durable. However, they're not unbreakable. That can happen. My Leo that I have, his blades got broken accidentally. Some stuff kind of fell, and more heavier stuff fell on top of those things, and they kind of snapped. Long story short, I'll be looking for a new set. But the Casey Jones and Raph in Disguise, I believe these are retailing for $49.99. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. They are choice. So that's Raph, and we have Casey. Now I'm going to be playing around with these guys, trying some different poses and posting on some social media. See if we can get some laughs going on. Who knows, there might be some antics with the Ghostbusters. Heaven forbid. And in case you guys weren't aware of it, Ghostbusters and Turtles actually crossed paths before. I have these two books I got a while back. That's right. The Ninja Turtles and the Ghostbusters actually teamed up before. Not just once, not just twice. I believe there's even a third book. I have these. You can get these on Amazon. Either paperback or digital copy. I think there's also a hardbound copy too. But it's got plenty of laughs, it's got the same type of humor and the same type of action that we come to know from the Ghostbusters and the Ninja Turtles. I've even seen a few cosplays of people dressing up as Michelangelo in the jumpsuit and proton pack. So, if you're a Ninja Turtle fan, this is something you can't pass up on, guys. So, hey, if you have any questions about the figures, you want to see me do something else, any suggestions, something you heard is coming up, and you think maybe I might like it or might want to check out and do a video, hit me up. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I've got more videos coming out. I'm not doing this to be some big star. I'm doing this to have some fun with you guys. I mean, with everything going on in the world, we need to stop taking ourselves so seriously, have some fun, have some laughs, take a chance or two. I mean, I did this because, well, I wanted to do a couple videos on some stuff that I happen to do, and maybe I'll help someone else out. Because a year and a half ago, when this thing was coming together, when this was taking form in my head, I went on YouTube, found a bunch of videos of different people who maybe that's the only video they ever did. And it helped me tremendously, and it helped me form this and let my imagination go run wild like a buck wild, like a prodigy child. So, I mean, have some laughs, do a movie review. Or, you know what, since, well, movies really aren't coming out right now, rewatch an old classic, talk about what your thoughts were on it, recommend some movies to some younger people coming up. That's what it's about. I'm hoping to do some reviews. With TV, TV's going to be pretty hard to do the next, realistically, a lot of new shows. Like your favorite shows, if you're a big comic book person, the CW Arrowverse type shows, they won't be releasing new episodes until potentially January. We're like a little under half a year. Of course, you got the if you're a big comic book fan, hit up Netflix. The Umbrella Academy season 2 drops. It's definitely good. It's definitely good for a few laughs. If you like season 1, you can't miss. Later on this month, Lucifer, new season is dropping on Netflix. And for those that don't know, Lucifer is actually part of the DC universe. He made a little cameo last year during the whole crisis. And who knows? We might see a few appearances, maybe a Constantine coming to visit Lucifer during the next season. We'll see what happens. What else do we have? CW's just wrapping up season 1 of Stargirl, which originally aired on DC Universe, their streaming service, but it's actually jumping there and hopping over to CW next year. So there's that going on. And again, superhero shows, The Boys. And this is not for the kids. This is for, anyone 18 and older, or someone who is open to tons of blood and guts and tons of mindless violence. The Boys. Season 1's on Amazon right now. Season 2 is dropping in September. You don't want to miss Billy and the boys while they take on the supers in The Boys. It's a surefire can't miss. That is based on a comic book as well. Lucifer is Neil Gaiman. Kind of a spin-off of his Sandman books. You don't want to miss that. Lucifer is based on that. The Boys is based on a comic book. And also, for those who are diehard Transformer fans, I am. I grew up with the original Transformers. Netflix just dropped their first chapter of the War for Cybertron. It's a short little, like small little 25, 30 minute episodes. About 8 or so of them. Pretty good. Pretty solid open. If you're a Transformers fan, you're kind of sick of seeing the origins. It's a nice little grittier take on it. Rumor has it, this after the whole trilogy for War for Cybertron is wrapped up, it's going to open up Beast Wars again. That would be interesting. Beast Wars was like late 90s, early 2000, early in like CGI animation. There was some good story. It just could have been executed better now with our technology. Could be. Other than that, Doom Patrol, that's another good one. DC Universe, but also on HBO Max now. Rumor has it that DC Universe streaming service is going to be folding up. I know HBO is grabbing a lot of their properties right now. Titans has not landed anywhere, at least not yet to my knowledge. But HBO has works in development for a Green Lantern. Not the Ryan Reynolds one. They have a Snyder cut of Justice League. Can't talk straight. Justice League coming out. That's going to be coming out sometime next year. A Snyder cut. So that will be interesting. I heard talks of a Ben Affleck, Jared Leto, Batman Joker. Who knows? Could be Killing Joke. Could be anything. That's like early development, nothing. I don't know if anything's been signed, sealed, or delivered, but it'll be interesting. But that's pretty much what's going on. I myself, I watch just about everything, guys. And I mean, I watch everything. I mean, the Arrowverse shows, you're talking like your Flash, no longer Arrow. Legends of Tomorrow. I like the stuff that's just silly and it laughs at itself. Bunch of different stuff is on hiatus, so I mean it's gonna be rewatching your favorites over and over again. I mean, I grew up watching Tales from the Crypt. I grew up watching movies like The Toxic Avenger, Attack of Killer Tomatoes, Killer Comes from Outer Space, the mindless action movies of Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, just a bunch of classics. All-time favorite movies, Ghostbusters and Back to the Future are probably two of my top twos. If you're fans of sci-fi and some comedy, did you ever read or did you see the movie Ready Player One? That's based on a book. The book has some subtle differences, and I highly recommend reading it. The writer's name is Ernest Cline. He's the one who actually wrote the original idea wrote the original story for Ready Player One. A lot of subtle differences, and actually in the book, the DeLorean that Parzival drives does not look like this or have some. It does have some bullet holes, but there's some hazard tape going across this, and a Ghostbuster logo, along with the Knight Rider sensor on the front of it. There's some subtle differences. And his license plate said Ecto 88. Of course, they couldn't get all the licensing rights for the movies, but it's highly worth a read. And if you ever heard of a movie called The Last Starfighter, Ernest Cline has his own little variation of kind of like that meets Pacific Rim meets what's another reference? Kind of Pacific Rim meets Last Starfighter, kind of almost Star Wars kind of a feel to it, called Armada. The premise is a kid who he's months away from graduating, but he's always been a loner. His father was killed when he was real young. Well, he's always been a big video game fanatic, been playing it religiously for years, and then suddenly he finds out there is an actual invasion coming for Earth. Yeah. It's got a Last Starfighter feel to it, but the book is pretty awesome. I heard Spielberg is optioning it, possibly for development, so we'll see what happens. But as far as that goes, I mean, movies coming up. Bill and Ted Face the Music. I know some people have the opinion that movies, the producers are just running out of ideas, but then other people are just like, hey, let's just have some fun with it. And I think Bill and Ted is going to be one of those movies where it's just going to be a little bit of fun. It's going to be two guys getting back together, and let's have some laughs, let's have some fun, let's not be too serious about it. And I think that's what Keanu Reeves is doing with him and Alex Winter are doing with Bill and Ted. You know, they're just getting the band back together, have a few laughs. So that's all I have for you guys this time. Please leave some suggestions down below. You want me to review, you know, a sci-fi show, a movie, a scary movie. Hey, I grew up watching like horror movies, blood and guts, just, you know, people getting chopped up by Leatherface or Jason or Freddy. So if you want me to do a little take of my review, honest reviews of movies from the 80s and 90s, but doing it right now and seeing, you know, how goofy or how silly certain plot points were, I'm more than happy to do that. But like I said, take the chance, have some fun. But whatever you do, keep on busting, guys. So this is Dave from Dave's Dimension. I am signing off. And until next time, catch you on the flip side.